So I think the best way to talk about this is uh, through a video as well. Uh, so from the beginning, I have said that the 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, and weekly time frames strategies are independent ones. They don't have to depend on each other. They don't have to make sense to each other. Uh, and I still stand by that. And I still think that we should treat them accordingly and trade via that route. And to support that, I think going through the charts a little bit could be good. So this is Solana 4 hour. As you can see, we have a clear breakout and then multiple confirmations, confirmation. Again, mini didn't touch, but again confirmations. So this is happening through and through on Solana on the 4 hour. And the daily, if we go to the daily, it's going on its own pace. So after the breakout on what 20th 28th February and this retest, we didn't have any entry opportunity based on the daily, but on the 4 hour we had. Again, if we go to the hourly, the situation is completely different. A lot of short term intraday kind of trades in that time, uh, and happening every day. Like it's breaking out, making some dollars, and then again breaking down, breaking out, breaking down, breaking out, breaking down. It's happening. It's at its own pace. So a lot of number of trades. So it's frequency is increasing, but the theme remains the same. We trade only the upsides because the Fisher remains bullish. So a few times the Fisher also uh, created some downside because of that continued period of dump. So that was also mm, kind of good on the last week's correction. But yeah, again, if we go to the weekly, it's a completely different situation as well. So after the like breakout in January, it has given us confirmations through and through, and again the final confirmation 22nd January, and then the subsequent 150% move over the last 8 weeks or so. So these are completely independent kind of trades. So weekly can be your long-term holding spot trades. Daily can be short, like mid-term holding spot trades. 4 hour can be perp trades, spot trades based on the opportunity, kind of opportunity. 4 hour can be your breakout trades. 4 hour can be your range break trades. 4 hour can be your momentum trades. So these all trades fall under fall under the 4 hour, and obviously the hourly works, but we might not want to do hourly on inferior coins like this one. So again, near broke out on the last week of February, and the subsequent 2 weeks were brilliant, and we are starting another new week. So we will have to see how that goes. On the weekly, it seems there is nowhere to go but up. That support has been that resistance has been broken. We are in a like a curious resistance zone. But on the daily, if we look at it, it's a clear trade yesterday. Like I said, this is a braver trade. This is a harder to make trade because all that's going on in the market on Saturday. Bitcoin is falling. Bitcoin is hugging and like holding on to that 66K barely, and it could fall 10% more anytime. But these coins are holding that support. That coin held the support on the daily close of Saturday, and then made the Sunday. So this is a completely legitimate trade on Saturday night close. It's around, I think, 3:30 in the morning, Indian time. So that is the daily close. So this is a completely fine trade based on the daily time frame. But if we look at the 4 hour, which we are doing now, like I said yesterday, we cannot at this point, let's say here or here, we are talking about the trade. We cannot trade unless this breakout happens. This breakout is confirmed. because at this point it could go to that resistance and take that resistance and go down. That's a completely uh, possible outcome for this trade. We already have that resistance, so we need that to break, and we need that confirmation of the breakout. So that creates the entry opportunity for us on the 4 hour. But the daily trade would have been here. So the daily is a harder trade to make, and it doesn't have anything to do with the 4 hour, because the 4 hour is obviously negative and it's falling. It could fall more. It doesn't look like anything other than that. So it's a completely different trade, and it should be treated as such as well, in my opinion. So when we are talking about daily trades, we don't cannot go back to what is happening on the 4 hour. So 4 hour, there are 6 4 hour bars in each daily bar. You have to remember that that is a significant amount of time, and that is a significant amount of bars to complete a full trade. So let's see the bigger movements. So this from 6.6 to 8.4, so that's a 30% move. That's happening in 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 bars. So that's a daily bar for you. That's inside that daily bar, all this is happening. The downside from 9 to almost 7. So that's just 3 hours, so that's half a day. So that kind of move can happen in half a day or day. It doesn't matter. It's completely different scale of time. So that's why I added the scale of time on the uh, on the trading approach as well. So it needs to be defined why, or how long are we willing to hold a trade, what is our target, mm, what do we want to do. We do if we want to break out, like trade breakout trades on the 4 hour, it generally takes 4 5 days, and if it doesn't something doesn't happen in 4 5 days, we close it like on a on a discretionary basis, because we might need to allocate that. We might need to pull that money out and allocate it to someone something else, because there nothing is happening on there. But in case even in cases like that, we need to give it time. Like on a 4 hour time frame, you need to give it at least 3 days to for it to like show you that movement, and it can come out of nowhere, like it has been for many coins. It has been doing that. And if we are confirming like daily time frames, that's a different ball game. Like it will either happen in the next 24 hours or 48 hours, or it will not. It's there is barely any risk. So if it breaks down, let's say it closed at 6.65, it breaks down and closes below at 6, that's 10% loss. And daily it's spot anyway, so 10% loss you can take. If it quickly falls, tries to fall below, you will have to close on a see like that discretionary basis as well. But if it confirms, it's that upside quickly. That's happening a lot of coins. It's upside quickly. You could go to see, it's upside quickly. You could go to dot, that is upside quickly. You could go to what I think Litecoin as well. Yeah, held upside quickly. File I think held as well. Yeah, very well actually. File was very good uh, upside quickly. So these coins are all holding the support. Like, there's a lot of coins that held that support. Like I mentioned, only a handful of those coins broke that support. So this theta held, and it's moved brilliantly. Like it's 60, so almost 20%, more than 20%. GRT, it's held and moved up brilliantly. So uh, this the trade was here. The trade was at 0.36. So that's a 15% move, because we are waiting for that 4 hour breakout. So that's the 4 hour breakout we were waiting for, and it's not done much. Still has those targets 0.5. Uh, but yeah, the trade was here at 0.36. Anyway, that's what I meant on all this. It's a different scale of time, like I said on the weekly. If we go to the Bitcoin, what I shared yesterday, so Bitcoin went down to 4764, Right, so that's the daily support. It went to just below the daily support. It went to, but the weekly support was at 58. So let's say if Bitcoin broke that 66 mark and went to the 60,000 mark, that would be the weekly support confirmation. Everyone would tell you to like short the market, be very careful, be cautious, or everything, all that. But like I said, the the harder to do and the like very risky thing to do would be would have been to allocate like 30 to 40% of your capital on that 66 mark. Even if it drops, take that loss, keep every position because it's spot anyway. uh, and if it goes to 60,000, allocate 30% more, so that gives us 60% allocation, 40% still remaining to be held. And when that breakout happens eventually, and if it happens only, then we go with the rest 40%. That's the way I suggested before even the current move on the slight upside. It might not hold the current upside as well. It's still like depending on that 4-hour breakout and a lot of other things. We'll have to see, but that's the thing we could have done in previous when we had time. Now we have not the the leisure to do that. Only 4-hour breakouts. Like I mentioned yesterday, we can only do the 4-hour breakouts. So yeah, that's all I think I wanted to share about this thing. Thank you.